In order.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Vyers?
Here.
Commissioner Morrill? Here. Commissioner Kelly?
Here.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Here.
Commissioner Fry? Here. Commissioner Fahey?
Here.
President Mee?
Here.
Thank you.
I would ask the board if you are okay with putting community input ahead of presentations. Any objections to that?
No.
No objections.
Then Mike will do so. Donna, if you'd record that. And so we will entertain community input. Who is here to speak from the public? Anyone? Yes, sir?
Ma'am.
Come to the podium if you would, and both of you, and please identify yourselves for our record.
Good evening, Park District Board members, staff, and residents.
Sir,
Yeah.
would you identify yourself?
Yep.
Your name?
My name is
address,
Don
please?
Cavalli.
Okay.
I am the president and business manager of the Wheaton Municipal Band.
What's your address, John?
My address is 3912 Falcon Drive, Naperville, Illinois. With me presenting tonight is Dottie Mackey, Wheaton resident and chair of the Band Commission, and Gail Sonkin, Wheaton resident and vice president of the Wheaton Municipal Band. Before we present our agenda, I would like to make a few acknowledgments. We are deeply appreciative of the Park District's foresight and initiative in respecting the old shell and constructing a new facility that will serve the community well for generations to come. We are also grateful for the Park District's flexibility in adjusting initial designs in order to optimize the concert experience for both the audience and performers. We look forward to settling in our new performance home upon its completion, and we are grateful to Art Sweet for his leadership during his service to the band. Art kept the band together during some financially difficult times, or how I would frame it up as some of the lean years. I'm going to frame up our discussion to provide a little background. Dottie Mackey will briefly touch upon the high points of our requests of the Park District Board, and Gail Sonkin will provide a few comments as a Wheaton resident and stakeholder of the band shell. Several months ago, I approached Mike Bernard with a question about naming the band shell. In particular, I was wondering if we could name the band shell after our music director of 40 years, Dr. Bruce Moss. At that time, Mike made me aware of a naming preference that discouraged the naming of Park District buildings after living individuals. He cited an example of the buildings named after disgraced Speaker of the House, Dennis Hastert. With respect to that advice, Dottie Mackey will outline our request.
Thank you, sir.
Hi,
Hi, Dottie.
Dottie Mackey, 196 Longfellow Drive, Wheaton. Okay, thank you for letting us present our request this morning. It's no secret that all who are affiliated with the Wheaton Municipal Band feel that the past 40 years have been, the band has seen the band achieve national notoriety under the leadership of Dr. Moss. I speak for some who believe that naming the band shell after Dr. Moss would be appropriate. However, as Don stated earlier, respecting the Park District's advice is important to us. Therefore, we are requesting that the band shell not be given a name or simply be called Band Shell in Memorial Park. I believe this is a reasonable and appropriate alternative to the current plans for naming the new band shell. As a Wheaton resident, I can attest that even though the former band shell was named for Art Sweet, most residents that I have spoken with simply know it as the band shell. As I see it, the Art Sweet Memorial Band Shell was demolished last year to make way for the new band shell and the start of a whole new era of the beautifully renovated Memorial Park. I believe that having no name or the band shell in Memorial Park allows the Wheaton Park District to honor many of the significant contributors who have served the community, present and past. Wheaton Municipal Band is only one tenant of the band shell. We acknowledge there are others that should be honored as time goes on, in addition to Dr. Moss. This is a great opportunity to leave the door open for years to come. I feel it would be appropriate to recognize Mr. Sweet with a historical plaque in the park with a sketch of the old band shell. This is consistent with the way the Wheaton Park District has provided a visual history of the park and buildings that previously stood on that block. Again, this is only our opinion, not part of our request. This request does have the full support of the Wheaton Municipal Band and the Band Commission. Thank you for your time, and I'd like now to invite Gail Sonkin to the podium, and she'll have a few words. Thank you.
Gail, how do you spell your name, your last name?
Sonkin. I live at 2 South 431 Burning Trail in Wheaton.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you very much for your vision in creating this wonderful new band shell for not only the Wheaton Band, but for also many events that I think you're planning for the future. And we can't really know what they're going to be. It's just the beginning. And so I think with that vision also comes the vision of a name. And how can we name this new structure so that we can accommodate all of the events, including the Wheaton Municipal Band in the structure. According to your website, the shell is called the Memorial Park Band Shell, and the Taste of Wheaton is advertised in the webpage, and I think it is also in the brochure at Memorial Park Band Shell. I do publicity for the band and often have referred to the band shell as the Memorial Park Band Shell. Many of the events, including our concert band concerts, include people, the audience, or participants who come from other communities. And I think it would help them to find the location if Memorial Park is in the name. I don't even know if it has to be called band shell. It could be called a pavilion. It could be called a stage. Band shell's nice because we think of it as our home, the Wheaton Municipal Band Shell. But it is an opportunity to christen this new structure with something really visionary. And I want to thank the Park District for investing in the structure. I know it's a lot of money, and we so appreciate having it as our home. And I want to thank the Park District also for communicating and allowing us the input into every step of the process. And even though not everything we wanted was there, we were listened to, and the neighbors were listened to, even the petanque players were listened to, and everybody appreciates that. So again, this is your decision, it's your structure. We appreciate having a home there, but I think it would be visionary to maybe not name it after Art Sweet. That he was very instrumental in building the old shell, and it was appropriate. But now we're moving on. We're moving to the future, and I think a different name would be appropriate. So thank you.
Anyone else in your group? Any questions or comments from the board?
No, thank you
None?
very much.
Don, Dottie, and Gail, I want to thank you for your time before the board tonight. And as one Park Board Commissioner, I want to commend you for the professionalism and comprehensiveness of your written proposal. It was very tasteful, very respectful, and we appreciate that. We'll take your proposal under advisement and review it further at our next subcommittee meeting in March. And if we take any formalized naming action at all in the future, it'll certainly be done at a regular board meeting. We thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And you don't have to stay for the rest, but you're welcome to. Oh, you want to get out of here?
We have someone else that wants to talk.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were leaving, sir. Sorry about that. Your name?
I wish I was.
All right, well, you may soon. Your name?
I'm Brian Ebert. I live at 521 West Indiana Street, Wheaton, Illinois.
Okay, Brian.
And I, along with Mike Bernard, was instrumental in getting this named after Art Sweet. And I just don't want to forget about him. I think that it can stay the name of Art Sweet and have whatever they are choosing along with it. I don't like the idea. I think that Art Sweet, he stayed here his whole adult life, and he ran Wheaton Community High School's music department. And then when he retired after 35 years, he still did some work for the band shell. It's always been a memorial park. Everybody in Wheaton calls it a memorial park, except on Thursday night. They used to come with blankets, and they supported it. It was all volunteers. There's a great history behind all this, and I can appreciate everything wants to change, but I think there can be consequences to that. I think that history is very, very important, and what Art did here, he did as a volunteer. Two managers from Ma Bell across the street approached Art and asked him if he would do this, and he was all in. So I don't remember where the funds come from, but I know that part of it came from Ma Bell and the support of those two managers. And Art, there wouldn't be another band shell if it wasn't for Art. I want to put it that way. We have he built a band shell, and now you replaced it with a beautiful structure, and thank you. But we wouldn't have another band shell if it wasn't for the first one. And the first one was Art's, and it should be Art's forever. I got involved with this because his son was in my class, and we hung out together, and he asked me then to help him approach the board and get it named after his dad, and I said I would, and then he went to sleep and passed. So that's how I got involved in it. But I really, really think that it should stay the name of Art Sweet and give the history of it. If you want, put his plaques and everything on a pallet so you can move it and name it after whatever you choose. But I sincerely hope that the board considers the history of Wheaton. Thank you.
Brian, thank you also for your time and your comments will also be considered, at our next subcommittee meeting. So again, we appreciate your time and your efforts, and the board has a lot to consider. Thank you. Any other public comment? Seeing none, hearing none. Staff, thank you for your patience. We'll move on to the strategic plan review. Who's talking?
I'd like to, by way of introducing the group, make a few comments. Every February, the Wheaton Park District reports out to the board and the community on the accomplishments of the previous year as it relates to our strategic plan. We have just wrapped up a 4-year strategic plan cycle at the end of 2019. As I think you all know very well, how the Wheaton Park District approaches strategic planning is to involve and harness the energy and talents of, rather than an outside consultant, our employees from across full-time, part-time ranks and across all of our departments and divisions in order to write strategic planning charters that will guide our efforts towards positively impacting the culture of this agency in perpetuity. I'd like to start, before I introduce our first speaker, by just reminding us all of the Park District's mission, vision, and values. The mission of the Wheaton Park District is to enrich the quality of community life through a diversity of healthy leisure pursuits and a heightened appreciation for our natural world. The vision of the strategic planning teams, and therefore the Park District team as a whole, is as follows. We, the Wheaton Park District team, commit to service excellence, financial stability, and an enriched quality of life for our stakeholders. We accomplish this through continuous improvement of people and systems while living our values. And those values that we live as a Park District team are integrity, fun, adaptability, growth, commitment, kindness, and service. And speaking of those avenues of accountability, these are the foundation principles for everything we do at the Wheaton Park District as a team. And those avenues of accountability that guide our efforts in our strategic planning process are sustainability, makes sense, investing in people, doing things better and smarter, and ensuring excellence and satisfaction. For the last 4 years, 7 major project teams have been hard at work, positively impacting the Park District culture. Those teams are the Measurement, Survey, and Analysis team, the Board Partnership and Community Engagement team, the Internal Communication Excellence team, the Program and Recreation Services team, the Facility Planning for Profit and Sustainability team, the Green team, and the Parks and Open Space Master Planning team. Tonight, our strategic planning teams will report on their accomplishments in 2019, and as a wrap-up to this 4-year strategic planning cycle, outline their team's positive and lasting impact on the culture of the Wheaton Park District. Bruce?
Good evening, everybody.
Bruce?
I was prepared to be up here for 8 or 9 minutes and found out tonight that I had about a minute and a half. So
At most, Bruce.
I will go quickly.
How disrespectful, huh?
So I have the pleasure of being up here to represent the Measurement, Survey, and Analysis team. Our team members are listed up there: Christina, Mark, Diane, Michelle, Randy, and Trish. And our goal statement is in tiny little letters that I can't read. So basically, I will tell you our job was to provide an avenue to gather data from people and gather opinions so that we could use that to make the Park District a better place. And we spent the last 4 or 5 years doing that, having surveys of our employees on an annual basis, and those have continually evolved and changed. We have added survey questions to that are focused on individual charters to get information for them, to focus on communication, things that are important to people. And we've also worked to make the surveys easier. It started out as a long, kind of hard process for people, had to show up at a location that wasn't at their work. Huge survey, took a long time. It's now shorter, more concise, and this year, for the first year, it was offered 100% online. Survey just ended, or is completing for the employees right now. It was done 100% online. It's going to allow us to get information out quicker, and will also made it easier for everybody to do. So in the end, I think we're going to continue on as not a charter, as a committee, as a group, and we're going to continue these surveys, continue to give that information back to other groups and make the Park District a better place for all of us.
Thanks, Bruce. Any questions for Bruce?
I have a question.
Here we go.
Bruce, now, did any of this survey analysis include the surveying of the public or the users, or was it just purely aimed at the staff?
Originally, kind of the first thing that happened was that community survey back that the University of
original one.
Illinois did a few years ago, and I'm sure there will be another one before too long.
Okay, so
But
that's
it-
what you're using as your basis?
But
for-
we have focused mostly on the staff.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Bruce.
be kind of hard to follow Bruce, but I'll do my best. Good evening, esteemed board members. For those that don't know me, my name is Matthew Robel. I'm the Adult Education and Recreation Supervisor for the Wheaton Park District. I'm on the project sponsor, board partnership, and community engagement with the sponsor, Donna Siciliano, the executive assistant. So our goal statement is to draft a plan that would produce results in improving communication, engagement, and board partners and the community. So our year 4 accomplishments include installed a flat screen TV in the main entranceway of the community center to help promote upcoming events and programs. We distributed current program guides at City Hall for our stakeholders. As well, we installed a messaging system on all district phones for when a patron calls and is placed on hold. This message promotes events and gives information about our parks and our current events coming up. In summary, the team was successful overall with meeting our objectives and goals for the charter. The committee identified where improvements could be made, as well as any new programs or initiatives that could be implemented by the district. Ideas came from many different departments, department levels, where staff was able to share ideas and see them come to life. In summary, the following highlights the outcomes of those improvements and new programs. The creation of an ongoing coordination for donations to the free library at Cosley Zoo. We have had a 50% increase in followers after concentrating on our social media presence. As well, the utilization of our email software system. To date, over 200 emails have a 60% open rate for those who have signed up for our e-newsletters, which is a great success. Staying in touch can be hard, as we all know. This is why we send out quarterly emails to our partners and sponsors telling the story of what's going on at our park district. With this new practice set in place, we have received feedback from 3 organizations that wanted to learn more about our capital projects and our current events. Thank you very much.
Any questions for Matt before he runs away?
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
You had 200 emails, and you answered 60%.
60% open rate. So 60% of the people that got the emails opened them. Okay. Yeah.
Anything else? Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, sir.
All right, my name's Mark Dolphin. I am athletic manager. I'm part of the internal communications charter. Basically, our goal was to work on internal communication and different processes that could help that. Deb Seymour is our project sponsor, and we have representatives from athletics, parks, HR, marketing, finance, and the rec department. So pretty much all areas of the park district. Year 4, I'm going to breeze through this in the overall because most of our year 4 accomplishments are in the same overall. The main things that we did was a new hire orientation. We offer that 6 times a year, and Executive Director Mike Bernard presents at that as well. We also offer a new hire parks and facilities tour 3 times a year. We take the van and 3 members of the committee drive any new employees around, gives them a tour of all the parks and facilities that are out there. Typically, it takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours. We are in the 3rd year of our Leadership Academy with some internal staff presenting to our year 2 students. We also have done drone footages of highly public parks that are attended to, as well as 360-degree views of some of the parks and facilities within the park district. Those are being uploaded to the website so that staff and residents are able to look at the park, see what's there, if they want to rent space, if they want to come in. It's a great source. We've also did all 27 holes at Arrowhead and are working with Andy and Bruce to make sure that is up on the website as well. So it's about 1 minute each hole, and you get a nice overview of the golf course. We also did an interdepartmental contact directory for the front desk to kind of help reduce phone call transfers and questions that were directed to different people because athletics and park rentals are a lot of people have questions about athletics, and there's 4 managers, and sometimes we want to make sure that the front desk knows exactly who's in charge so that we're giving them the direct information up front. And we also are looking into software called Teams, which can kind of give you instant message, video chat, kind of help people. If, you know, front desk calls me and I'm on the phone, I could respond to a quick question while I'm still doing something. So we're looking into that software as well. And then we have also sent out surveys to any new hires about communication, involvement, how the new hiring process and how it went.
Any questions for Mark, comments? Thank you, sir.
Hey, Mark, is that the Teams software, is that an app? So that, will that work on your phones, individual phones? Or?
It's through Microsoft. I think it's just through the computers. I don't think it's on the phones as far as I know. It's they're phasing out a different program and Teams is kind of taking over for it, so.
Thank you, sir. Kristen?
Good evening. My name is Kristen Hanlon, Creative Arts and Varied Interest Supervisor with the Wheaton Park District. I proudly serve on the Program and Recreation Services Charter with the staff you see listed there. Our goal statement reads, to improve our programming reach, balance, and frequency of use in ways that benefit, encourage, and promote lifelong leisure. Our Year 4 accomplishments are quite extraordinary. We maintained a district-wide cancellation rate of 16%. If you recall, in Year 1, we created a cancellation rate by activity type prototype. This assisted us in calculating the cancellation rate for each program area district-wide. We identified key representatives in each program area to receive quarterly reports reflecting their cancellation rate. We would then encourage follow-up questions if a specific area was over 25%. This ultimately resulted in the creation of the guidelines for program expansion, development, and elimination document in Year 2. Also in Year 4, we completed the facility space catalog. This was the groundwork that was done in Year 3, where our charter members conducted facility usage reports by programming room, space, time for programmable facilities throughout the Wheaton Park District. The data collected in Year 3 allowed us to create the catalog in Year 4. These 2 projects, as well as the general considerations for pursuing partnerships and the partnership tracker, assisted us in putting together an all-encompassing program manager resource manual, which lives on our dedicated intranet tab that was created for our charter. This manual, as well as many other supporting documents, are available for Wheaton Park District staff and supervisors to assist with their programming needs. This charter has transitioned into a district committee in January of 2020 and will continue to work hard to support staff. This next slide will show a very brief summary of all the work we've done in the past 4 years. You can see the breakdown of the consistently decreasing cancellation rate. The remarkable thing about this cancellation rate is that prior to 2016, we were at a 30 to 33% cancellation rate. So finishing 2019 with a 16% rate means we essentially cut that cancellation rate in half. As I mentioned on the previous slide, we have a list of resources that we've created to assist our programming staff. Some things I didn't mention before are things like marketing resources, pricing, budgeting resources, and a program quality flowchart. As I mentioned, all these documents live on our dedicated intranet page for easy access. And last but certainly not least, in addition to all of this amazing work, we had 3 charter team members present a session titled The Secret to Effective Programming Strategies at the 2020 IPRA IAPD State Conference. Thank you.
Hang on, Kristen.
Thank you.
Comments, questions for Kristen? None. Thank you, Kristen.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Kristen. Hello, Daniel Novak, Facility Profit and Sustainability. First, I'd like to thank my team members for doing what they do on a daily basis and have an impact they make for the Wheaton Park District and the teams they work with. Kim Prazak, Kathy Marino, Brian Morrow, Sue Walgren, and Nicole Shezek. Our goal was to empower staff and staff across all departments to creative district-wide programs to reduce expenses through joint purchasing and education of best business practices. Summary of our impact of our agency culture. Facility planning for profit and sustainability charter quickly evolved into district-wide culture and will continue to be a part of day-to-day business approach and operations as well as within the annual budget process. We continue to strive to reduce our reliance on the property taxes while examining global expenses through our operational budgets. Staff has made it practice to be diligent when purchasing supplies and contracted services, saving the district tens of thousands of dollars annually. Our RFP process in collaboration across all departments has benefited the district financially and has created a network of staff with a deeper understanding of the one team, one goal mentality. To round out 2019, staff, I went too far there, no, sorry. To round out 2019, staff from athletics and special facilities presented a continuing education cost recovery class for managers from all departments that examined our district-wide financial literacy, internal department communications, and department ROI goals. This class additionally covered service categories, their beneficiaries, the types of arts and pricings, the art of the pricing, cost recovery versus subsidy, and direct and indirect costs. Again, this charter had a plan of action, and action changes things. And I think we have, and we will continue to do this throughout the culture of the day-to-day work in the Wheaton Park District. Excuse me, I got a terrible cold. Can't even hear myself.
Questions or comments for Dan?
Without further ado, Rita and the
Thanks,
Green
Dan.
Team.
Thanks, Dan.
Hi, Rita.
Yeah, he's really got a cold. He was just trying to avoid any questions.
Good job.
I'm here tonight to represent the Green Team. Our charter sponsors are Angie Dosch from the zoo and Tara Johnson from Lincoln Marsh. The Green Team pretty much speaks for itself as to what it represents. But what we've accomplished in year 4 is interesting. We're still holding strongly with the idea of educating and informing and providing opportunities for recycling. Recycling, we added 50 recycling bins to our parks this year. We're working on getting signage on it so people actually put the right things in it, things that truly are recycling, but it's a work in progress. And one of the really cool things, if you can say that to describe it, that we are really, really close to getting is the Audubon Award, and that's in the golf course. Mike, today we learned that we've gotten the 7th, it's a 7-step process. We've gotten the 7th step. They notified us today, but they still have to come and do an on-site visit and verify that everything that we've said and documented so far and shown them that we're doing is in fact in place.
That away.
And then we'll have it. So that's the great news for today.
Good
because
timing.
It was great timing. I was like, yeah, I can add in an extra. Oh, sorry, I didn't advance the slides. You can read. These are all the people that are on. Our goal statement is to, as I was saying, explore, educate, and implement practices and improvements that reduce and improve our use of green products and services. And I've already talked about what we have accomplished in the 4th year, and we will continue. We will not end as part of the strategic plan. We'll continue as a green team. This green team preceded the charters, and it will continue after. And we're looking forward to accomplishing more great things. And without further ado, I will
Any comments or questions for Rita before she runs away? Rita, good
I
work
thought I was being pretty smooth.
Not really. Congrats on pursuing that Audubon Award.
Yeah, for sure.
And Steve will wrap up.
Thanks, Rita.
Good evening. I'm Steve Hinchy, Superintendent of Planning. Working with me are Brian Morrow and Don Cudahy, but in all actuality, all the departments of this district help to provide input to what we do within our parks and open space and different facilities. Our goal is to evaluate the ideas of stakeholders to determine the complexity, cost, and order in which they should be done for current replacements, opportunities to enhance the experience for our stakeholders, and opportunities to improve environmental sustainability. Last month, I presented what was essentially my 4th year update. So in an effort to not be overly repetitive, I thought I'd frame my update tonight in a little different way. We've accomplished a lot over the past 4 years, and some of these things are pretty exciting. I just wanted to give you a quick recap of maybe some of the highlights. We put some finishing touches on the Central Athletic Center complex by redoing the gym floors and the bleachers, and redid the look of the lobby. We constructed the outdoor ice rinks at that same location, and installed the WDSRA Rec and Roll space. The Cosley Zoo, we built the Animal Welcome Center, and we made improvements to Rathje Park. We updated the skate park at Clock Tower Commons, built a pickleball court at Atten, and a treehouse for Play for All. We've been working hard to upgrade IT and security at all our facilities. Admittedly, not all projects are quite so glamorous, but we do work hard to keep our infrastructure up at all our parks and facilities. Parking lots, backstop fencing, building roofs, and HVAC systems still need to be repaired over time. And staff seeks to do these things in a fiscally responsible way. We appreciate the support of our board, who continues to keep these things in our budget and keep our parks looking great. For many, parks or playgrounds are a prominent feature within our parks. Of the 24 playgrounds we have around town, over the past 4 years, we have replaced 4 of these and redone the surfacing for 6 more. Through surveys of our neighbors around these parks, we received input from more than 463 residents, which we use to inform the designs for what goes in for the next playground. And speaking of neighborhood input, the plans for Memorial Park were discussed and refined over the course of more than 2 years, with several meetings with our neighbors and other stakeholders. It's been exciting to see this project get underway and progress over the past few months, and we look forward to celebrating its completion with the community this June.
Thanks, Steve. Any comments, questions for Steve?
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
I want to thank staff for your individual and collective efforts on your charters. And thank you to Bruce, Matt, Mark, Kristen, Dan, Rita, Steve for your presentations tonight. Any other comments from the board?
I just want to thank the staff for your continual involvement in the charters and working on these different committees. And I know it takes you away from your normal job, and it takes time and effort, and I do appreciate it. And I think it's great to see everybody working together for a common goal, and that's to serve our residents. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Ray.
Mike?
Just by way of closing out this section of the board meeting, I'm certainly very proud of the efforts of our Park District team. The last 4 years were very, very successful and created a lot of positive impact. We're going to spend moving forward, we're going to spend the better part of 2020 in a planning phase to begin the next strategic plan cycle, which will essentially begin late 20 or early 21. And we'll be bringing the board a new master plan that will cover really 4 major areas. The first being the celebration of the Park District's 100th anniversary of incorporation, which is in 2021. The Park District turns 100. Number 2, long-range capital planning. Number 3, a charter around innovation and continuous improvement of our systems internally. And number 4, a charter around performance management and evaluation. So we look forward to taking a deep breath after this long period of work on these specific 7 items that you heard reported out on today, and we'll be looking forward to presenting a new strategic planning cycle to you later in 2020. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks, Mike. Staff, this would be an opportune time for you to take your exit if you wish.
Thank you.
Oh, and you're all leaving? Shocking.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're solid. Go and enjoy yourself.
All right, moving on to our consent agenda. Is there any commissioner desire for removal of any of the items? If not, I'll read them into the record and look for a motion and a second. So we have a 5-point consent agenda, starting with A, approval of disbursements totaling $1,482,993.76 for the period beginning January 8, 2020 and ending February 11, 2020. B, approval of the January 8, 2020 subcommittee meeting minutes. C, approval of the January 15, 2020 regular meeting minutes. D, approval of the January 2020 workshop meeting minutes. And E, approval of February 12, 2020 subcommittee meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
Moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Fahey and a second by
Right.
Fry. Any comments, questions, or concerns? If not, Mike?
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
Commissioner Fahey?
Yes.
President Me?
Yes. We have no unfinished business. Moving on to new business. Item number 1, I need a motion to approve a contract with Integral Construction for the construction of the Arrowhead Golf Club Chemical Storage Building for an amount not to exceed $274,320.
So moved.
Second.
Wait, Donna's got a question.
There was an update since the agenda.
Sorry about that. Who advanced that motion?
Kevin made it, I seconded.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would, so 279 was correct.
274,
74. Sorry.
Correct.
$274,320.
Okay.
It was a motion
Still
by
moved.
Fahey and a
Yep.
second by Kelly. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Mike?
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
Commissioner Fahey?
Yes.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
President Me?
Yes. And item number 2, I need a motion to ratify an expenditure for the Arrowhead Golf Club dishwasher replacement project, change order number 1 from Land Construction. Would be for the installation and testing of 2 RPZ valves at the dollar amount of $1,317.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Fry and a second by Hodgkinson. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none. Mike?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, moving on to item number 3, another change order issue. I need a motion to approve change order number 5 from Frederick Quinn Corporation for the Memorial Park renovation project for A, addition of an access door in the amount of $2,358, B, terrace revisions in the amount of $16,158, C, for the removal of unsuitable soil from the ramp at $3,480, D, the relocation of monument and flagpole at a dollar amount of $4,050, and finally E, for additional benches and associated concrete in the amount of $16,470.
So moved.
Second.
Had a motion by Hodgkinson and a second by Fahey.
Mhm.
Any comments, questions, or concerns? John, any thoughts, any comments?
No, these are, I think I gave the board an update last month, and the total of change orders is we're right just a hair over $100,000, I think, which is 2% on a almost $5 million project. We're out of the ground. We're getting to the finish stages. So, I think the job's going well. I think we're on schedule, and, I think the contractor's doing a really good job.
Thanks for your work, John. Anybody else? Mike?
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
Commissioner Fahey.
Yes.
Commissioner Vyers.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow.
Yes.
President Me.
Yes. Moving on to item number 4, again for the Memorial Park renovation project. And need a motion for the installation monitoring costs for security systems and a motion to approve contracts with Imperial Surveillance for A, installation of burglar alarm system for $6,185. B, burglar alarm system monitoring plan for $51.99 per month. A burglar alarm system service plan for $52.50 per month. The installation of security camera system for $16,254. And finally, for the security camera system service plan for $138 per month.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Fry and a second by Hodgkinson. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Mike or John, any questions in this, comments on this?
No, this is the package that we put out.
Okay. Mike?
Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
Commissioner Fahey.
Yes.
Commissioner Vyers.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
President Me.
And yes. Item number 5, again regarding the Memorial Park renovation project, need a motion to approve a quote from Advanced Intelligence Engineering for wireless access and point of sales technology. It's a 2-part motion. One, $11,889.75 for hardware and software installation, and $110 per month service costs. Need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Hodgkinson and a second by Morrow. Any comments, questions, or concerns?
Yeah, Mike, is the Wi-Fi an additional cost for the public? And if so, how much is it?
You know, and I probably am going to have to get back to you on that. I don't, do you mean additional regular?
We backed public Wi-Fi out of this.
Yeah, that's
the
why I'm confused. I don't think there is any public Wi-Fi included in
This
this.
is all internal Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And I think we decided
I think that
as a board to forego that.
came up at, I think we backed that out at the
did.
subcommittee.
Yeah, several months
Now that
ago.
we talk about it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was several months ago. That's why I
Was
think I'm a
that
little
add-on?
lost.
That's why we don't have a statement of issue with that one. Yeah.
Any other comments, questions, or concerns? We have a motion by Hodgkinson and a second by Morrow. Mike?
Correct.
Right.
We-
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
Commissioner Fahey?
Yes.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
President Me.
Yes. And our last item under new business, item number 6, for information technology expenses, needed a motion to approve a quote from Advanced Intelligence Engineering for the physical host server replacement project at a cost not to exceed $21,955.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion by Byers and a second by Fry. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none. Mike?
Commissioner Fahey?
No.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Me.
Yes. Moving on to reports from staff. Mike, before we get into our annual reports, do you have anything that you'd like to say?
No, we can move right to the annual reports.
Since Michelle Artis is here from the Parks Plus Fitness Center, why don't we go to that first? Michelle? Thank you for that report.
Hello, Michelle.
Hello, everyone.
Anybody want to start? Because I will start if nobody else wants
I
to
have
start.
a, I have a question.
Okay.
Something.
You want to go, Ray?
Oh, sure. I just, looking at the silver sneakers, a group near and dear to my heart, but the programming and registration seems to be almost half of our membership.
Yes.
And I would hope, and I assume that that this goes without saying that you're gearing the equipment and activities and programming to a older age group, because you're not getting the younger people. They're going elsewhere, aren't they?
Well, some of them are going elsewhere. The insurance-based memberships, Silver Sneakers being the largest, they are the 65 and older, but the other insurance-based memberships are 64 and under. So we're kind of trying to help both sides and make sure we're taking care of both sides.
Got to cater to those old people.
Yes, we do. And we're partnering with the athletics department to help
I
do
was
that.
glad to see your retention rate is 80% in 2019. And the U.S. Health Club report says 30 to 50% is good. And we're at, what, 80%? That's excellent. So fantastic. Good job. I know you're in a very competitive market, and it's a difficult job for y'all to do, and so, kudos to you for that. The personal training, maximizing your personal training by having your staff go to different events and special events and being out there and being visible and answering questions, and I think that's a great idea. Keep that up. I think that'll help you in the long run. And one last thing was the article at the end of the report was very well done. Trying to compete with other fitness centers in a very competitive market.
I get it.
And, we're in our own little niche, and we got to realize that. So article was very well done, so thank you. Those are my comments.
Bob's got some.
Ray stole my thunder, but I just like the personal training, how it's increased. That's kudos to your trainers and yourself. That's fantastic.
40 new members this month from last year. So that's positive. That's great to see.
Is that part of New Year's resolutions?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And an
Maybe we should
excellent
ask this
Sure.
question in September here.
Well, it's 40 more from the year before, right? So, yeah, we're headed in the right direction, so that's good.
Michelle, thanks for the exec summary. That's very helpful. And, I appreciate the ongoing promotional offerings. I mean, we've got a lot of competition, so can't hurt us, right? But, I know that you got a lot of work. You're not only the, Parks Plus fitness manager, but you manage the Clock Tower mini golf and the skate park, and you are one of our co-race directors. So we appreciate all that work. I wanted to say to you that we do have a lot of competition, and I'm just wondering, and it's not necessarily for you, Michelle, but Mike, I'm wondering if we should be taking a look, having looked at the comp data, I'm wondering if we should take a look at our fee structure at this point in time, because we have so much competition. I think it's our financial analysis is very explicit. It tells us what we need to know. I just wonder if it's time that we take a look at that fee structure. I don't remember when we did it last. So
It's certainly something we can undertake and present to the board if that's the will of the board.
I don't think it's a fee issue. I think it's more of an equipment issue. If we redo the area and bring in new equipment, they will come.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. It's both are thoughts are worth considering. But yeah, we can take a look at that. Perhaps in a subcommittee process. Thank you. Anything else for Michelle? Thanks, Michelle.
Great report. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the special event annual report. Who's stepping up for that one?
Christina?
Christina?
Just waiting for questions.
I am. But before I say anything, Amy Seklecki took the lead on redesigning this annual report for us this year. So we were very lucky to have not only someone with marketing and event experience, but graphic abilities as well. So
Nicely done.
that is all on her.
Anyone?
I just looked at that 2019 at a glance page, and the economic impact was outstanding on the community. And I'm sure with the added special events we're going to have at the band shell, we'll get more involved from there. And on page 5, the auxiliary partners, I'm sure they will benefit from the increased special events that we're going to have at Memorial Park, too. Thank you.
It's a fantastic report and great information. Do we share this with the city or the chamber or downtown business people?
Yes,
I mean, we share it with
all of our
everybody?
partners, and we'll make sure that
And this is not a criticism, but just the quality is so much better than some of the other reports, and it's not to put the other reports down, but there's a difference, and I don't know how this all happens. It's each department does their own thing, and some staff just do a better job. I don't know.
this report in particular, comes right out of the marketing department. They have a lot of people who are their primary reason for being here is to create wonderful.
And even the quality of the paper is better.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that means Ray can read
They
it.
give the marketing department a
We
little bit better
appreciate you not
access to paper.
specifically calling out which reports you think are inferior to this one, but we will take note of it.
Thank you, Commissioner Morrow. Anyone else?
excellent report.
Deb, you got anything?
No.
Beautiful.
Christina, don't run away. That exec summary, it says it all, and I'm hopeful that, that people beyond, us and staff and, I hope that people in the Park District read that because it says a lot, but that, the 2019 at a glance page and the event by event pages, to highlight the event summaries and the highlights and the economic breakdowns, I mean, that's very informative, it's very helpful. But, I think it needs to be said that, these special events attract, upwards of 90,000 people in the course of a year. And, our estimated economic impact is $10,971,450. That's a lot of money. So, those are really important. So keep up the great work. And, I think we do a lot for the city, and I think we'll continue to do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Christine.
Moving on to any other reports? Any other comments?
I had
John?
just one. I'd like to do a tip of the cap to Margie Wilhelmi and Rob Spurl for the email that you guys sent out last week on the update on the Memorial Park project. I thought it was concise and full of information, which is about as high a compliment as I can give an email. So it was well done, kept our stakeholders abreast of what we're doing there. And then I'd like to add on the tip of the cap, Steve Hinchy to that as well, Mike Bernard and John Kelly for all the efforts they've done in managing that project in a cooperative way with our general contractor. I think that, from what I've heard from Commissioner Kelly, and I trust him, that project's going to come in on time. It's going to be on budget or maybe even under budget. And it's going to minimize the impact to the public so that that doesn't happen by accident. It's through great effort and the whole team working cooperatively, and my hat's off to all of you, so great job.
Great.
Just a couple. White Horizons registration is at a 10-year high. That's great. 10-year high. Looking at implementing mobile recreation in the summer of 2020. That's something we used to do in the 70s.
Bringing it back. What goes around.
It can only be successful if you market it well and let people know where you are and when you're coming. But that's interesting how things go around. Baseball registration it looks like it's getting to be an all-time high too, so they're doing real well. So kudos to you guys. And then one last is I appreciate the partnership with the museum and the public library with that event that you put on, the golf event. And ended up net proceeds of $6,500 to each organization. I love partnerships whenever we can do them, so good job.
John? Jane?
I had a chance to catch up on the last 2 episodes of A Walk in the Park, and I wanted to compliment Mark and Amy because I really do enjoy those. It's not the first podcast I listen to of the day, but it is certainly one that I enjoy. And I, in particular, because my own personal experience with special needs populations, want to recognize this one with Rick Napier, who is here tonight, and who did, I thought, a really good job of telling people in Wheaton how they could use special recreation services and how they could avail themselves of it, what those services would be, and throughout that, you made it so clear to them that it was a very easy process. All you have to do is give us a call, and you just made it sound really good. So I like that. The one before was the review of the year by the executive director. That one's good.
He warmed up a little bit.
He did. He did. Also, I wanted to go back to the other podcast. Rick, I appreciated all the work or all the support you gave to the foundation, to the Play for All Foundation, talking up what the playground's going to mean to people. I really like that one. So, congratulations.
Nope, I'm good.
Kev?
I do. I want to thank Kim and Gary Olfig for their kind gift of $1,900 to the Cosley Zoo. So shout out to you. Thank you very much. And Amy, I did want to congratulate you. Your podcasts, they are nice to listen to. It's very professional quality. And I'm glad to see that you also have availability to access that on Spotify and Apple and Google Music. So good job at that. One other thing I'd like to mention, we are up 200 pool passes from the same time of from last year. So that's good. All right, that's it.
I want to thank the board for supporting my attendance at the recent IPRA State Conference. Well done, but I do want to recognize, our staff who presented, and I did have an opportunity to attend 2 of those staff presentations. So, Mark Dolphin, Amy Seklecki, they were involved in a couple of them. Rob Spurl, Kristen Hanlon, Becky Egan, and you guys did a great job. And it's pretty impressive that, you're invited to do that, but you did very well. I was very impressed. I'm sure you'll do it again. Recognizing some of our recent past events. So had a chance, myself and at least Commissioner Fry attended the recent Isapalooza, very well attended. Mother Nature helped a lot, but it was, it was fantastic. Staff did a great job of, setting it up and monitoring it. We also had I wasn't there because I was out of town, but we had a good attendance at the Mad for Plaid event, did we not, Mike?
Full house.
Yeah.
Sold out.
In partnership with the Wheaton Public Library, that's, pretty significant. So, that's the first of its kind. We also had our recent annual appreciation mixer at Arrowhead. That's another well-attended, successful event. So thanks, staff, for everything you did. We have our casino night coming up in March, right? Yes, sir. So hopefully I know we have some tickets sold already, but hopefully it'll be as well attended as it has been in the past. If we have nothing else, I would look for, Mike, we don't have anything for closed session? No, sir. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Morrow, Fry?
Fahey.
Fahey, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Terry.